Okay, good night. So I'm pretty agitated and angry about like the all the cruelty that I'm subjected to, violence and screaming, but I will try to find the energy to complete the saga of the robots. I hope you enjoyed it. We have one last part that is really the most disgusting because it deals with current situation, but I will try to make it very brief because I really don't want to speak about it, and I prefer recording like a video, another chapter in the fairy tale, the Three Sisters, which is more interesting because it's so disgusting. But I should end this kind of like the robot saga, so let's make the effort to do it. What I will also do, hopefully very soon, is work on the Crucible that will be used to revive animals and maybe other life forms. I thought about it that I wanted to be more fancy than initially I thought. Like it will be like the Crucible of the Ancients. So it's got its own like wooden base that is painted with very roughly with acrylic. So I let it dry and then I will start to build it. Probably I'll do it like while I am recording with like videos. So what I also did now is that I disconnected the Crucible. It's outside from the electrolysis. It has like it had very very weak electrolysis, but for a long time. So now, and I took 3 samples, and I want to very briefly watch these samples because we didn't see any neos in the past in the previous 2 samples. And my estimation is that the only thing that can explain it is that because maybe all the neos, I mean joined like for the Megazord, for the huge like animal that the fly that I want to revive now. But now I've added like things from like the metal container from the wax, and also there was electrolysis and a short burning, so we should see more neos. That's what I hope to see. And later today, not much later, but maybe very soon I will light this crucible again. And now the goal is to create the symbolic effect and the bicycle effect in the bodies of the Titans in Israel, the female Titans in Israel. Presumably it shouldn't affect them because they are related to the metal containers, but according to what I say, and this should be proven by this kind of experiment, and they were actually changed. Not that only they don't contain red neos in their body, which it's a problem for a long time because there is a shortage all over the world because they don't want to buy it from me. Like the yellow ones, they only want me to be their whore, so there is shortage all over the world. It's a known issue because they want they prefer that I will be poor, and penniless and homeless, and all of them not get a drug, then that they will get a drug and I will not be poor. That's that's a fact. So in any case, but the change is more like deep than that because they actually changed like to become Homo sapiens that are addicted to the drug, like what I called hybrids. It should be said that if actually this life form that we've seen and I try to revive, like the yellow bug, is actually what I think, which means that it's made out of neos. It's probably, it's kind of, it might be it's a long shot and still, it requires many proof, but maybe it's kind of like an animal that is one of the animals that can be used in Venus or used in Venus to feed the wizards when, because I said that the wizard in Israel, they are parasitic phenomenon. But I said that it's not exactly the same in Venus because in Venus they have other sources for the neos, like the Neo civilization itself, but it's very difficult to actually obtain it because they are they build their landscape projects. The biggest ones are built over platforms over the ocean, like huge platforms that are maintained over like many thousands of years. They are always maintained, otherwise they would not survive that, nothing like survive, no landscaping or huge landscaping project survive without maintenance. They always maintain it. But there are also smaller projects like on land, and so I said that maybe they can get it from there. And also my assumption is that you can find it in kind of like breeding grounds and in shallow ocean water. And what I try to do with the crucible that I now build is to mimic this kind of hypothetical natural phenomenon. But again, I said that there are any animals that contain and you can actually get it by eating the animals, and it's better. If you're a vegan, it might be problematic, but it's better than eating Venusians, and this animal might be one of these. Anyway, let's very quickly just take this kind of look at those 3 slides. I'll do it very, very, very briefly my main intention is just, I mean, because we didn't see no neurons like in the two slides from like this Crucible, but now it's got like new material and electrolysis, so it should be very different. So I don't want to waste time with, but I mean, it's important like to me to understand, I mean, what you have in your containers, like, I mean, so you'll not be surprised and not like, I mean, you know, waste your efforts on like, I mean, while you predicate your efforts, I mean, on non like untruthful assumptions. But I will do it very, very quickly, and hopefully then we'll start like a video, like the last chapter of the robot saga. I hope you're still with me. It became longer than expected, like 19 chapters, but we are almost done. Of course, there is the issue of like of the AI software of the Shabak that changed, like, as you've seen, it changes like the video. So I don't know how to combat it. I mean, I cannot pull like, I mean, like the blood, you know, cutting myself like charade like every time, like, I mean, for your entertainment. I guess you understand that it's not going to be like, I mean, the regular kind of like, I mean, part of the show, of the robotic show. Very nice. This looks like a human, but it's actually, I don't know what it is. This looks like a life form actually. Nice. Like a big one. And you see no neurons here, which is very nice. So okay, you have neurons here, certainly. Big ones, smaller ones, I mean. So we are fine, I mean. So I don't know if this very weak electrolysis actually changed anything, but probably didn't hurt. And this is like a good mixture, I mean, now with the, like, when it was strengthened by, I mean, bugs from the one of the metal containers that was very rich. This is a nice neo. So the big ones are not really, I mean, they do not usually keep their perfect round shape. And I guess that it makes sense, but sometimes they do. This is a really nice one. Okay, let's stop here, even though, I mean, we have much to cover, but I mean, let's just, I mean, take a quick view of the other two. Very quick. It's not very interesting because I just wanted to make sure that, I mean, that yes, I mean, the fire actually melted the wax, like, and like mixed the neurons that were in the wax with the oil that is in the contain, like the crucible, and also that, I mean, the electrolysis didn't hurt. I mean, why should it? I don't know how much it was helpful because it was so weak, but it didn't hurt. The idea is that for the crucible, like for the crucible of the ancients, where I will revive any like life forms, resurrect life forms, the idea is that, I mean, it will be very strong electrolysis because it will be much shallow waters, so much less volume of water, so it will be much stronger electrolysis. Even though I'm not going to use magnets for reasons that I might elaborate, like, I mean, later. The crucible of the ancients. So we've seen a few neos, like a big one is the part in the beginning of the slide, like, but after that it's kind of like, I mean, pretty dead. Now we see like black ones. I don't know. Were these kind of like, I mean, the ones that, I mean, the female neo, like, because, I mean, are these the ones that you think are like defunct? They are not defunct. They are fine. They are just dark because of like environmental issues, but they are not defunct. They are actually fine neos, like, as far as I know. This is very nice. So you see smaller ones, bigger ones. This is nice. Maybe we should zoom in into it. Wow, so impressive. Okay, now let's take a look. It's very brief look on the third one. Again, none of this is groundbreaking. It's just to verify that we are not completely off track. Nice, very nice. So this one is got also shapes within shapes, which is interesting, and many neos, and also things that look like what I call duds, which is kind of like objects that I think that are going to, they were in the process of becoming neos, like new neos, like clones, but they, the process stopped before they became like viable neos, so they are duds, following the name of of landmines or ammunition, ordnance that is malfunctioning and cannot be detonated actually. We have ton of neos here. Some are duds, but many are just fine neos. Okay, so it's not incredibly important, but it was important for me to actually conduct this experiment, and so very soon, hopefully, I will start the video in the robot saga. I hope you are still with me. I'll try to make it short because it's so disgusting, and I've already spoken about it quite a bit, in the previous videos. It's so disgusting, but let's just get it over with. Of course, I demand rescue from the Nazi prison for me and my daughters. This should be done right now using arms and legs. This is a cruel society that is financed by the Americans for many years. They torture us in unbelievable physiological and psychological ways.